Small, cold, and with hardly any natural resources, Denmark should have struggled to survive in the global economy. By all conventional measures, it's a country that seems destined for mediocrity, not prosperity. Yet, somehow, against all odds, it became one of the richest and happiest nations on Earth. How did this small Nordic nation defy expectations and build a world-class economy? The answer is a story of radical thinking, bold gambles, and a deep-seated belief in a single, powerful idea: trust. Denmark's success is built on a foundation that many other countries would find baffling, even counterintuitive. Some of the highest taxes in the world and a powerful, all-encompassing welfare system. It's a social contract that sounds simple but is profound in its execution. Here, citizens willingly pay more, but in return, they receive more. Think about it. Completely free education, from primary school all the way through university. Universal health care that covers everyone, regardless of their income or social status. And one of the world's highest standards of living, supported by generous social safety nets that catch people if they fall. We see the results of this system everywhere. Students in state-of-the-art classrooms encouraged to think critically, not just memorize facts. Doctors and nurses in modern hospitals focused on patient care, not billing. Families enjoying beautifully maintained city parks, their children playing freely, knowing that their future is secure. While most countries are locked in a debate fearing that high taxes will stifle growth and kill ambition, Denmark has turned that logic on its head. They've transformed taxes from a burden into a national investment, an investment in their people, in innovation, and in the fundamental principle of equality. This isn't just about charity. It's a strategic decision. By ensuring everyone has access to health and education, Denmark cultivates a workforce that is skilled, healthy, and highly productive. When you look at Denmark on a world map, its small size is striking, especially when placed next to economic giants like the United States, Germany, or resource-rich neighbors like Norway. Unlike these nations, Denmark's fortune doesn't flow from vast reserves of oil, gas, or a massive industrial base. There are no sprawling coal mines or diamond fields here. Its true wealth comes from something far more renewable and powerful: its people and a deep historical connection to the sea. From the age of Vikings, Danes have been masters of navigation. This maritime DNA evolved over centuries, transforming a nation of seafarers into a global shipping powerhouse. Danish companies learned to think globally long before globalization became a buzzword. They built fleets that connect continents, powering the arteries of world trade. Today, giants like Maersk are a testament to this legacy. Their ships, carrying goods from one corner of the globe to another, are a physical manifestation of Denmark's outward-looking, trade-oriented mindset. They didn't have resources to sell, so they sold a service: efficiency, reliability, and connection. This strategy turned their geographic limitation into a strategic advantage, making them indispensable gatekeepers of international commerce. But Denmark's greatest and most audacious gamble was yet to come. It began in the 1970s, a decade of global turmoil. The world was gripped by an oil crisis, and nations dependent on foreign energy were thrown into chaos. For a resource-poor country like Denmark, it was a moment of existential threat. They had a choice: compete for scarce, expensive fossil fuels, or forge a completely new path. They chose the wind. It seemed like a fantasy at the time. The idea of powering a modern nation with something as unpredictable as the wind was dismissed by many as idealistic, impractical, and economically foolish. But Denmark saw an opportunity where others saw a liability. They looked at their long, windswept coastlines and saw not a harsh environment, but an untapped reservoir of infinite energy. The government didn't just hope for a green revolution, they engineered one. They offered subsidies, funded research, and created a market for wind power when one barely existed. Local communities were encouraged to invest in their own turbines, making renewable energy a grassroots movement, not just a top-down policy. Engineers and innovators went to work, developing technologies that would become the global standard. This wasn't just about putting up a few windmills, it was about creating an entire industry from scratch. It was a massive, nationwide bet, driven by a long-term vision. Today, towering wind turbines are as much a part of the Danish landscape as its colorful harbors. Denmark not only achieved energy independence but also became the world's leading exporter of wind turbine technology. Companies like Vestas are global leaders, installing Danish innovation in countries all over the planet. The gamble paid off spectacularly, turning a crisis into a multi-billion-dollar industry and cementing Denmark's reputation as a pioneer in sustainable energy. So, what is the secret to Denmark's success? It's not one single thing. It's a powerful combination of factors that all feed into each other. It's the high-trust society, where people believe the government will use their taxes wisely. It's the welfare state, which invests in every citizen, unlocking their full potential. It's the global mindset, which turned a small nation into a shipping titan. And it's the forward-thinking courage, which saw a future in the wind when others were still digging in the dirt. The Danish model is often summarized by the word Flexicurity. It's a unique blend of flexibility in the labor market and security for workers. Companies can hire and fire employees with relative ease, allowing them to adapt quickly to global market changes. But this flexibility doesn't create a culture of fear. Why? Because the security part of the equation is incredibly strong. If someone loses their job, they receive generous unemployment benefits and, crucially, access to free retraining programs designed to get them back into the workforce with new, in-demand skills. This system encourages both companies and individuals to take risks. Businesses can innovate without being crippled by rigid labor laws, and workers can change careers without fearing financial ruin. It's a dynamic cycle of adaptation and support. This philosophy extends to the Danish work culture itself, which is famously flat and collaborative. There's less emphasis on hierarchy and more on teamwork and consensus. This environment fosters innovation, as good ideas are encouraged to come from anywhere, not just the top. It creates a workforce that is engaged, empowered, and genuinely invested in the success of their companies. Ultimately, the story of Denmark is a lesson for the world. It shows that a country's wealth isn't determined by the resources under its ground, but by the potential of its people. It proves that high taxes and a strong social safety net aren't enemies of a vibrant economy. They can be its very foundation. And it demonstrates that the biggest risks, when guided by a clear vision and collective will, can lead to the greatest rewards. Denmark didn't just build a rich country, it built a happy one. It crafted a society where ambition and compassion coexist, where economic success is measured not just in GDP but in the well-being of its citizens. It's a quiet, intelligent, and inspiring blueprint for a more prosperous and equitable future. Denmark's early and bold investment in renewable energy completely transformed its economy. Today, it's almost hard to believe, but more than half of its electricity comes from the wind. What started as a survival strategy, a way to break free from depending on others, blossomed into a booming global business. Danish companies are now at the forefront of the green technology revolution, exporting not just massive wind turbines, but also the invaluable expertise that goes with them. They're literally shipping their vision across the world, one turbine blade at a time. This pivot to clean energy gave Denmark far more than just power for its cities. It gave them independence, a stable economy, and a rock-solid reputation for being innovators. Think about it. Copenhagen isn't just a picturesque city. It's a living showcase of what's possible. You see it in the clean energy grids quietly powering neighborhoods, the electric buses gliding through the streets, and the stunning sustainable architecture that seems to blend right in with nature. All of this proves that true prosperity isn't always about what you can dig out of the ground. It can come from something much more powerful: ideas, a deep sense of trust among people, and a shared responsibility for the future. You see it in the everyday life here, in the faces of students, families, and small business owners who are all part of this collective success story. Denmark, a small country with a truly big vision, shows us all that real wealth isn't about what you have, but about what you choose to build together. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos just like this one.